everybody. Good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a big crew this evening, so glad you're all here. Thank you, Mr. Gare. I think I saw you around here. Sorry. Mr. Gare, thank you for welcoming us to Lincoln School. It's great to be here. Thank you. Thank you. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Caldwell-West Caldwell Board of Education Public Conference Meeting today, Monday, March 18th, 2024. Today, the board met in executive session at 6:00 p.m. here in the wonderful Lincoln Elementary School, faculty room at 18 Crane Street in Caldwell, New Jersey. The purpose of that meeting was to discuss personnel, litigation, miscellaneous, and old business matters. That meeting has been advertised and is in compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act and NJSA 10:4-6, also known as the Sunshine Law. The matters discussed will be made public when confidentiality is no longer required, and formal action pursuant to said discussion shall take place only at a meeting to which the public has been invited. Today, the public conference meeting is taking place at 7:05 p.m. here in the multi-purpose room at Lincoln Elementary School, 18 Crane Street in Caldwell, New Jersey. The Board of Education meeting is being streamed live. However, all community questions and comments will be welcomed here in person. The Caldwell-West Caldwell Board of Education public conference meeting is also in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act and NJSA 10:4-6, also known as the Sunshine Law. Notices have been sent to the Progress in Caldwell, New Jersey, the Star Ledger in Newark, New Jersey, and Tap Into West Essex. Notices have also been posted at the Board of Education Business Office at the Harrison School Building in Gray Street, West Caldwell, and have been delivered to the clerks of the Borough of Caldwell and West Caldwell for posting. Brian, can you please take the roll?
Yes. Student Representative Madeline Alberta. Ms. DiMartini.
Here.
Ms. Landolfi Jefferson.
Here.
Ms. Mack.
Here.
Mr. Diambola.
Here.
Ms. Grosso.
Here.
Should 5 voting members present. We have a quorum.
Terrific. Can we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? There it is. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Brian, are there any communications for the board this evening?
There were none.
Okay, great. So we're going to hand it over to Dr. Conklin for the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Board President. I'd like to invite Lila Shu from the House of Respect and Jacob Holbowich. Did I get it right, Jacob?
Halubowicz.
Dang, Holubowich, House of Citizenship. If you guys come to the microphone, please. Just want to let you know, Jacob and I practiced his last name for like 2 minutes before, and I still, sorry, Jacob.
Hello, I'm Lila Shu from the House of Respect.
And I am Jacob from the House of Citizenship.
Thank you, Board and Dr. Conklin, for having us.
We are going to tell you a little about what's been going on at GCMS.
We recently had an event that allowed students that are part of Project Unify to connect with their house leaders. We all went to the auxiliary gym and paired each student with a house leader to make teams to play table tennis. We then rotated around the room and occasionally switched partners to give the kids a chance to connect with as many house leaders as possible. This was an excellent opportunity for both students and house leaders to get to know each other in a stress-free, fun environment.
There was an after-school volleyball tournament house competition on Friday, March 1st. It was well attended, and it was the House of Respect who walked away with the win. They are now close behind the House of Integrity for the lead.
Another event that's coming up is our annual Make a Difference Day, during which different presenters come in and discuss a variety of topics. This day is one of the ways that GCMS honors Jim Brown, a man who has recognized the importance of helping those around you. Make a Difference Day is a way for students to connect with the community and their peers as well.
Friday was GCMS Day of Giving. GCMS collected donations for the service projects the students will be making on Make a Difference Day. We will be providing essential assistance to those who are facing difficult times. GCMS collected items for Mount Pleasant Animal Shelter, St. John's Soup Kitchen, and Wounded Warrior.
Our annual Bake Wars have just started. This is when the house leaders of each house set up a bake sale after school. The fundraisers go to the Student Activity Fund, which can help score this year and next year. Students can bake food or even just buy food from the store to sell, like cupcakes, cookies, and more. The House of Responsibility started us off, and the House of Respect will be up next. From my experiences as a house leader this year, I have learned that being a leader doesn't mean being perfect, but it means you have to take charge and be an example for those around you.
Also, as a house leader this year, I've learned how to lead my peers by example in front of others that might not know me as well. Thank you.
Great job. Good job.
I could ask Mr. Devlin to come and join me at the podium.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to quickly turn things over to our coaches. I know many people have places they need to be, but tonight we have the honor of honoring two of our sports teams from the winter who have had some great success. Our swim team, our girls swim team, as well as our wrestling team. I'm going to turn things over, though, to Coach Trevino and Coach Coogan Russell. They'll share a little bit more about the highlights. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Board, for having us here tonight. My name is Steve Trevino. I'm the head coach of the swim team for 25 years. And Ms. Coogan has been with me for just about all that time. She's a lot younger, though, but she has been with me for most of the time. We had a tremendous season this year, and doesn't even reflect in our record. It reflects in the effort of the girls that you see here. What's funny is that there's 11 girls here. We only have 14 on the team. 3 are missing tonight. But in the semifinals this year, this is all we had. We only had 11 girls to come to the meet against Madison. And every single one of the girls that showed up that night had to score, had to do something that made it so that we can get there. And we got there at the very tail end of that meet, and we won in the last event, 86-84, for the semifinals. We were so happy that night. We were like elated that we're going to make it to the finals. We actually are going to the championship. And it was not something we talked about all year long, because the way the PowerPoint structure goes in our division, we were swimming a lot of large teams this year. The Columbias, Milburns, other schools that are much larger than we are. And so whenever we swam against teams our size, we do very well. Our rivals, West Essex, we beat them up pretty well. But our girls were kind of slowly jumping up the PowerPoint rankings, and they kept going up, and all of a sudden we found ourselves #1 at the end. And so we put ourselves in a great position. They put themselves in a great position to be in the finals. And we came to the finals, and the same thing. We still had the flu bug, we still had some injuries, but some girls came through for us that night and really came out of injury, came out of the flu. Mia Martinez especially, she was like, well, I'll bring my bathing suit tonight, but I'm not sure I can swim. Don't tell the coach you're bringing your bathing suit. Not a good idea, because the coach is going to make you swim. And she did amazingly, and she was one of the strong points in our final relay. Once again, all we needed was second and third in the final relay. They put themselves in that position, and our 2 club swimmers, our 2 seniors, who have been with us all 4 years. And this is a very unique group, as I'm sure wrestling is too, but these are COVID girls. They came the first year, and all of the seniors that we have here, came to us and swam virtual meets. They swam against no one their freshman year. We went to the community center, and we swam our meet against ghosts in the lanes, and then I called up the coach that night, and we exchanged times, and we talked to each other, and hey, we won. And I text out to all the girls, we won the meet. So, but they've been through a lot, and they were in a championship meet once before, and they lost by 2 points. But what a way to send off our seniors. Our Ella Lepis, Carolyn Murray, two of our captains, along with Abby Fleegers here, and Grace Krasinski, our 4 captains. But Ella and Caroline anchored the last relay, and we came in second and third. And again, our 11-12 girls won 86-84 to win a state championship. And all of the girls here from, if I can read their names, is that okay?
Yes, please.
Lena Harry, 9th grade. Just stand up as I say your name, please. Lily Phillips, 9th grade. Sophia Matisse, 11th grade. Abby Fleegler, a senior. Grace Krasinski, senior. Ella Lepis, senior captain. Mia Martinez, senior. Madison McGinley, senior. Caroline Murray, senior. Amila Okama, senior. Keegan Quinn, senior. And Michaela Tucci is not here tonight, but senior. And Emma Britt, excuse me. Who's missing. And also missing Elena Condorelli is not here too. All these seniors, I'm going to retire now and I'll be moving on. No, I'm kidding.
No.
We're very, very proud of all of them. Very proud of the work that Coach Coogan does with me. I couldn't do it by myself. And I'll never forget this season. I really won't. I've been through 25 years, and I watched these girls just take what was in front of them and went right after it. And I was so, so proud of everything. We had our dinner a few weeks ago. They gave great speeches, and they finished off their year. And they're a very classy bunch. And I love every single one of them. And thank you so much for honoring me.
Everyone stand up. Give them a round of applause. Come on. Woo! Mia, don't be embarrassed. Be proud. Come on. We're proud of you. No, we're going to do pictures at the end. We're going to go to wrestling, and then we're going to...
Okay. Okay. We're going to turn things over then to Coach Sean Romano.
Good evening. Congratulations, Coach Trevino, Coach Coogan Russell, and girls. Thank you, Dr. Conklin, members of the Board of Education, President Mrs. Grosso, JCHS Athletic Administration, Mr. Devlin, Mrs. Schweitzer, Mr. Salisbury, as well as Athletic Director Dan Romano for his commitment and support every day. It takes a village, and I think we have one of the best villages you can find. It was also really special to see our Board of Ed President along for the ride with us this year. Your face was there every single night we had a match. You supported this team and these kids, and it never went unnoticed. It is really special when you have that kind of support. For that, I am forever grateful. To the other members of the board that always showed up in attendance, thank you as well. It really proves how great this community is. Our coaching staff. I could not be more blessed to have the support of the most committed and hardworking coaches in our sport. Dave Pepe, Nick Zara, Steve Martell, LJ Castellano. Myself and the kids are lucky to have each of you in their lives. Now to the most important, our kids. This sport is grueling and it is tough, it is long. It is unlike any other. To commit to it takes a certain individual. To commit to it, like you all have done, takes a champion. You are not just committed November through March, you are committed 12 months of the year. You earned everything you accomplished and your bond was unbreakable. 23-2, North 2 Group 2 state champions, co-SEC American Conference champions, second in the county, third in the region, and 21st ranked team in New Jersey.
Woo!
One last thank you is to our parents. You are just as committed as your boys are. All the rides, snack stands, duels, tournaments, beefsteaks, countless other events. Thank you for all that you do for your boys. We are not here today without your support and your sacrifice. I want to close with a misconception that many may make, and that is championships are won during the season. That is false. This championship was won last spring, summer, and fall. This championship was won by endless hours of work put in by these boys when no one was watching. This championship was won by their parents driving them all over the tri-state area to find competition. Next year's championship has already started right now. Thank you for having us here tonight, and we look forward to being back here again next year. Thank you so much.
Woo! Stand up, let's go. Woo! Okay, before we pause for pictures, I just want to read a quick statement really directed at the kids on behalf of the board. So as we stand here today applauding your victories, I'd like to reflect on the words of a great coach, and we have pretty great ones in our midst, but Vince Lombardi, who once said, "The price of success is hard work, dedication to the job at hand, and the determination that whether we win or lose, we have applied the best of ourselves to the task at hand." You all embody this spirit of dedication and determination. You have trained tirelessly, pushed your limits, displayed unwavering commitment to each of your sports. And tonight, we honor not just your victories, but also the countless hours of practice, the sacrifices made, and the resilience shown in the face of challenges. Your triumphs serve as a testament to the power of teamwork, perseverance, and the unwavering support of our community that we all love and hold so near and dear to our hearts. Let us also recognize the invaluable guidance of your coaches, the unwavering encouragement of your families, and the enthusiastic cheers of your supporters, 5 of which are sitting at this table tonight. In your victories, we find inspiration. You have, as Chiefs, once again raised the bar for excellence and have set a shining example for all of us tonight. So as we celebrate your achievements, let us also celebrate the spirit of determination and perseverance that defines our Caldwell-West Caldwell community. Your victories are not just yours alone, but a triumph for all of us. Thank you for inspiring us. Once a Chief, always a Chief. One more time. We don't bore you, and we love our auditor. She's going to do a presentation where we're going to do pictures, and then you can all go home because you've sacrificed enough, okay? So maybe we'll do our ready, Lucian? Okay, we're gonna move on. So here we go. Dr. Conklin, anything else? The auditor?
That concludes
No?
my report.
Okay. When are we gonna, is Brian, are you gonna introduce the auditor?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah?
Kathy.
Okay.
Oh, here. So Kathy Natel's from Nisavatia.
So Kathy's
welcome.
one of our auditors, and she's gonna give her report of the district's finance. She'll state.
Yeah, I think it's on.
Hello.
Is it on?
Is it on, Lucian? Is it on?
Lucian, is that on?
No.
Oh, maybe someone can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good evening. I love to follow children. That's so exciting, and don't ever apologize. I absolutely come to different meetings and I enjoy all the accolades of what the kids have accomplished. So tonight I did not do a PowerPoint presentation. I've been asked that a lot lately, and I said no. What the public receives is one report that the DOE requires, and then I just put together a few little snippets for the board so that you're familiar with what's in those 175 pages of information. So with that, the report is for June 30th of 23. It seems like such a long time ago. So if you look at the balances at June of 23 compared to June of 22, you'll see that there was an increase of a little over $2 million during the year. And then when you look at that, all the committed funds, all the restricted funds are where you can deposit into those reserves if you have money left over at the end of the year. But other than that, encumbrances or open purchase orders, they can't be changed. And then what you appropriated in your subsequent year budget cannot be changed. So we're looking at the unassigned. That's the flexibility that you have at the end of June. So during the pandemic, the state reduced that or increased that amount from 2% to 4%. And then in this year, it went back down to 2%. So that's why you're seeing a decrease there. Been working with Brian for a few years, and as the auditor, as an independent person, we talk. And I said, I just want to make sure you have this, you have that, and we actually teach each other a little bit about the district's finances. So I just want to say that, working with him for the first time, he really is good to talk to. We're always on the same page, and I think communication is one of the most key instruments in understanding the district's finances. So I just put a little caveat in here that there have been a lot of new requirements in the last 5 years. In June of 22, the district was required to implement GASB 87, which has to do with the lease payments. And also this year in June of 23, the district was required to implement subscription-based information technology agreements. They're similar in nature and they're spelled out in the footnotes, so if anyone has any specific questions, you can see that. And then we always like to look at what happened over the year. Why did you end up with the $2 million increase? And that's because interest rates were up last year, so a lot of the local resources were attributable to interest. The excess state revenue, and again, I took the numbers from the ACFR and I adjusted them for the on-behalf payments that the state makes for TPAF pension and contributory insurance, etc., and that's required to be posted as a revenue and expenditure, so we back those out so that you can see what the true excess or deficit is, and there are no deficits. So it's just a purview, and found this year going through the board with the budgets that a lot of districts have been I say here that at the end of the year you have $7 million unexpended, but you had encumbrances, and I see something running together there. The encumbrances were $3,767,000 at the end of June, and so those were purchase orders that were not liquidated at June. They roll into your next year's budget, and then they are liquidated. So $3.2 million of the budget was truly unexpended. And again, it was last year where you had an adjustment to put those into capital reserves, and maintenance reserves, or any of the reserves. And so this year going forward, being near that 2%, there's not going to be a whole lot of room unless there's some savings achieved in spending or revenues come in above that. And then the other point I wanted to make is that I think that's all I wanted to say about that, unless anybody has a question. And then on the next page, I just show you what the district has been budgeting in subsequent budgets. So you can see in 22-23, 1.7 was used in surplus from the original budget, and then the prior year extraordinary aid and non-public transportation aid that's added to that 2% is budgeted, because every district that I've been to has said that the costs of transportation and extraordinary aid have, for special education, have escalated. And so again, we had that communication with Brian. We're on the same page, making sure that we're both looking at it and making sure that the district is whole at the end of the year. So again, I think I explained that the 568 was the reported excess for the year, and there's also $936,000 at the end of the year that was added to the 2%. That's a calculation in the management report, which is the small gray report that we provide to the district. And it's required by the Department of Ed. So the way it's calculated is in this report, excess surplus calculation. And then beyond that, just the activity in the capital reserve, maintenance reserve, and emergency reserve accounts. Interest was earned in those accounts. There were when there's unexpended balances and anything that was appropriated from those reserves, if it's not expended in full, it's returned to the source. And again, the district was able to deposit $2 million in capital reserve at the end of June. Each year you're withdrawing money from the budget, so you see 1.4 was withdrawn from capital, 418 from maintenance reserve, and then the board passed a resolution to withdraw funds from maintenance reserve during the year. So you end up with 8.5 million in capital reserve at the end of the year. And again, from my own purview, having seen this in many districts over the years, that money is set aside because each year you're limited to a 2% spending cap. There are some exceptions to that, but it's very difficult to absorb operating expenditures, capital expenditures, so it's very important to have those funds set aside so that if something comes up that was not anticipated, you have a place to go. It's very important. I've seen it happen. And then in the capital projects fund, it's referred to as Fund 30. You have a $251,000 balance in your ESIP project that was authorized in 2018. No money left in the debt service fund, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Money in, money out. You'll see in the food service fund, and again, I think it's 100% resumption of normal activities after the pandemic, so you will see that operating revenue is up, federal and state subsidies are down, operating expenses changed a bit, and then that adjustment that you see there is just disposal of capital assets, net of the depreciation at that point in time. So the net increase in fund balance or net position was 17,889, and the change in the capital assets was negative 22. Operating was up 40,000. So we also included a comment in the management report saying that the district exceeded the 3-month average expenditure by 173,000. Every district did who was receiving federal funds. Again, made sure we had the communications from the Department of Agriculture spelling out what you could do, what you couldn't do. And late in the year they said, you do not need to have an audit recommendation as long as the district has a plan in place to utilize those funds. And I made sure that the district has the what you can spend it on and what you can't spend it on, and we've had that communication, so we feel confident that that will be liquidated in a short period of time. They didn't really specify, but as long as you have a plan in place, the district will be fine. And then the last bit, the continuing education program, again, I'll show you what the change in revenues were and the change in expenses. Net increase was 81,000 to net position. And then in the long-term liabilities, we talk about these every year. They're not really something that you see or make decisions on every day. So these are the long-term liabilities that will be paid out over an extended period of time. The balance of the bonds are $16,465,000. When they're sold, there's annual payments, principal and interest. They go through the debt service fund. Unamortized bond issuance premiums associated with those bonds are amortized over the life of those bonds. So when the final bond maturity happens, the premiums associated with that expires also. Part of GASB 87 leases was the reclassifying capital leases as finance purchases payable. And so you will find them in the ACFR in the I section of the report. I think it's I4. It changes depending on how many different liabilities you have. That pension liability, again, that's out of your control. It's dictated by the PERS pension system. And again, we only report the PERS portion because the state pays the TPAF portion on behalf of the district. And then you still have employees who are in the Essex County pension system. And so that again is a long-term liability associated with that. And compensated absences, you don't see a big change there in terms of people earning more days and being paid out when they leave the district. So you ended up with 704,000. Anybody have a question? You don't have? If I did my job, that's great. But I want to give you the opportunity. And then the management suggestion is just over the last 3 or 4 years, these COVID grants, the ARP funds, the ESSER funds. We are required to do a federal single audit, but it's not as, I don't know what word to use, intense as a desk review, or if they came in for the department or the division came in for monitoring. So we've heard from county meetings, county BAs, and everyone else saying, make sure you use the right account numbers, make sure you have up-to-date board policies. So we put that in every single one of our audits. So those funds need to be completely expended by June 30th of 24, meaning committed, right? Open encumbrance?
I'm sorry?
The September 30th,
September
24.
24, yeah, yes, we have to spend it, we know, yes.
And so that will go away. Maybe something new will pop up that affects all our school districts. And then again, when there's transition in a school district, you'll typically find that something might go off the rails. Nothing went off the rails in Caldwell-West Caldwell. There are no audit recommendations. And I think the business office and superintendent's office gets a little feel of it too. We can be intrusive at times. There's a lot of things we need to look at. We don't look at everything. The primary focus is financial, that the financials are stated accurately, and then after that, the next step is complying with certain DOE regulations, and then the third step is if you have a federal state single audit. And that's if you expend over 750,000. So typically on the state side, you will have a state single audit, but I really can't even remember prior to COVID grants whether the district had a federal single audit, but we'll keep you apprised. But we have never found anything that didn't comply with the procedures that we're required to do. So, great job.
Great, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Brian, too. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you. Thank you, Kathy.
Okay, thank
This
you.
whole office, everybody's so cooperative. Really
Great.
appreciate it.
That's great. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Okey-doke. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. On President's report? Yeah, finish up. So before we just move on and preview the agenda, I do really just want to thank Brian and the business office for all their hard work. We have no recommendations from the auditor. Obviously raved about Brian, and we rave about him too. He does a wonderful job. So Brian, thank you, and thank you to the business office as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Brian. I just want to mention before I preview that this Saturday, March 23rd, is the music marathon at James Caldwell High School. So please go and support our kids. It's from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. So if you've never been to the music marathon, they kind of have like groups performing all day long. The JCHS Orchestra and Band will be there, the Chamber Orchestra, Combrio, the Dance Club, 8th grade flutes, the Jazz Band, the JCHS Concert Chorus, Women of Note, Treble Trouble, Retro Men. Some of these groups I've never seen, but they sound so fun. And really, we're going to also highlight, there's going to be a sneak preview of You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, the Grover Cleveland Middle School musical. They'll be performing to give us a little sneak peek. So please come out, support the kids. There'll be snacks to buy. It's kind of a rotating day, so whenever you go in, someone's always going to be performing, and it's really, really great. And if you missed Chicago, you missed an amazing, incredible production by the James Caldwell High School Drama Department. It was phenomenal. So congratulations to the cast and crew of Chicago as well. Awesome. And we're going to be inviting the cast of You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, to come in April to preview their show, which is, I believe, the weekend of May 17th. I think I'm right. Okay. All right, so let's just go on. Brian, we're not doing any minutes tonight. Everything next week, right?
Correct.
So I'm just going to breeze through the agenda. For tonight, for just to get us out of here a little.
Just 10H.
Yeah, right, just 10H, yep. We have one thing we're voting on tonight, which is under finance and facilities. When I get to that, Danielle will do it. That's going to be on the tax levy. The board's going to pass the resolution so that the initial budget can go before to the county, okay? In the interest of time, since we're a nice, quiet group, we're going to put all the public comments at the end of the meeting, so anything on or off the agenda, okay? So we don't have to do that a million times. So next week, obviously, we have some things in curriculum and technology. Terry will be giving the report for the curriculum and technology. There's a bunch of field trips going on, different out-of-district placements. We have personnel stuff, leaves of absence, new staff, extracurriculars, the FBLA, trip. Just going through a bunch of things. So then finance and facility, like I said, Danielle was going to read the resolution for the tax levy, and we're going to pass that tonight. So Danielle, whenever you're ready.
Sure. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, a motion to approve item H, the tentative budget 2024-2025 under finance and facility on this evening's agenda.
Do you want to read the whole thing or like the whole resolution or? Yeah, so H, so here, we can look at it right here. So I would just do it be it resolved.
Okay. Resolved that the Caldwell-West Caldwell Board of Education in the County of Essex approves the submission of the tentative 2024-2025 school district budget to the Essex County Superintendent of Schools. This budget meets the requirements for providing the New Jersey Student Learning Standards and consists of appropriations as follows. Taxing authority. Whereas the district has a taxing authority of 1.8% over the prior year, which totals $919,180. Therefore, be it resolved that the Caldwell-West Caldwell Board of Education proposed 2024-2025 tax levy is $51,984,762, which is a 1.8% rise over the prior year. Travel and related expense reimbursement 2024-2025. Whereas School District Policy 6471, School District Travel and NJAC 6A23A-7.3 provides that the Board of Education shall establish in the annual school budget a maximum expenditure amount that may be allotted for such travel and expense reimbursement for the 2024-2025 school year. And whereas the maximum expenditure amount allotted for travel and expense reimbursement for the 2023-2024 school year was $40,000, and now therefore be it resolved that the Caldwell-West Caldwell Board of Education hereby establishes the school district travel maximum for the 2024-2025 school year not to exceed $40,000, and be it further resolved that the public hearing on the proposed budget be held on May 6, 2024 at 7 p.m. in the James Caldwell High School cafeteria 265 Westville Avenue, West Caldwell, New Jersey.
Thank you, Danielle. So just for public knowledge, anyone who doesn't know, Board of Educations are capped at a 2% tax levy. This board has charged the administration to come under the 2% levy to encumber savings, obviously, to the taxpayers, also to slim down the size of the district that we feel has become overinflated. The exact listing out of all that will be at the May 6th budget hearing that Brian will present, so you'll see exactly where those cuts were made. But we'd like to ensure everybody that no cuts were made that would harm students or staff in the district. Okay? So, Brian, if you'll please, do we have to make a motion?
You have to have a second.
Okay, so do I have a second to this?
I'll second it.
Okay. And then Brian, whenever you're ready to take the roll.
Okay, good, thank you. Ms. DiMartini,
Yes.
Ms. Landolfi Jefferson,
Yes.
Ms. Mack,
Yes.
Mr. Diambola,
Yes.
Ms. Grosso,
Yes.
5-0, motion carried.
And then just moving forward, we have some facilities, some usage of the facilities. The wrestling club, Boy Scouts, Caldwell University, already, believe it or not, looking for next year, which is crazy. I can't believe that. And then we have some policies as well that are being updated. So now we're going to move to public comments. Again, just because we're a small, tame group, we're going to do public comments tonight on items both on and off the agenda, so anyone is welcome to come up. Public participation shall be governed by the following. The participant must be recognized by the presiding officer and must preface comments by an announcement of their name and address. Statements are to be limited to 3 minutes duration. Participant may speak no more than once on the same topic until all others who wish to speak on that topic have been heard. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. Boards use the public comment period of the meeting as an opportunity to listen to citizen concerns, but not to debate issues or enter into a question and answer session or a cross-examination between the public and individual members. Be aware that not all issues brought before the board will be resolved this evening. Boards may respond to the public comment by seeking additional information or by delegating the authority to investigate the issue to the superintendent or his designee. The presiding officer may interrupt, warn, and/or terminate a participant's comments if they exceed the allotted time or are objectively obscene. Participants may be civilly liable for any obscene, defamatory, or slanderous comments made during public comment. Would anyone like to come up this evening? Liz! And Mary Ellen and Greg. Yay!
Liz Hart, 149 Ravine Ave. I don't know if you guys all have
Mary Ellen Meehan for Hawthorne, Caldwell.
Gregory Courtwright, 9 Irwin Place, Caldwell.
Okay, so this is off the agenda item, so I won't be asking any crazy questions.
Liz, put the mic
Oh,
up too
sorry.
so we
I
can
won't
really
be-
hear you. 'Cause
okay.
I want them
Off the
to hear,
agenda?
yeah.
Wait, where am I looking? I'm looking at you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is off the agenda. We're here on behalf of the JCHS Scholarship Fund Committee. The JCHS Scholarship Fund was established in 1963, which means we're now in the 61st year of the committee. Yay!
Yay!
And the committee has fundraised over $500,000 in scholarships, of value of $1,500 to each qualifying graduating senior. So each year we award 6 to 7 scholarships from our committee and fundraising efforts. Each of these scholarships are based on financial need, and we are the only committee in district where all fundraising efforts go directly back to the students. We wanted to highlight a few upcoming events that we hope the community will support to continue in our mission to encourage, improve, and advance higher education in the Caldwell-West Caldwell area through financial assistance, thereby assisting JCHS graduates to attend colleges or other institutions of higher education. The first one is the annual Scholarship Rocks event, which is going to be at Ringside Pub on Friday, April 19th at 8 p.m. The Milwaukees will be performing original music mixed with classic covers as well as 80s hits. Donations are accepted at the door. And then if you're not too tired from partying that night, the next day is the annual Shredded event that will take place on Saturday, April 20th in the GCMS parking lot from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We will be partnering with the Caldwell Environmental Commission once again, and the town of Caldwell is graciously paying for the truck. So feel free to shred your unwanted documents in a safe environment, and again, monetary donations are appreciated. Also, this year's scholarship night is Tuesday, June 11th, and the committee is having a fundraising event at Chipotle, so feel free to feed your kids and maybe not kids or whoever that night at Chipotle to help in fundraising for the committee. We also wanted to mention that the scholarship fund also manages close to 20 scholarships. Some were created in memory of a student, some were created in memory of a staff member, and some were established in memory of a loved one from the community. For some of these scholarships, the selection committee will choose the recipients. Others are determined by family members or by other organizations. In closing tonight, we wanted to highlight the Bella Pagnata Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship was created in memory of Bella, an amazing second grade student from Washington School who lost her battle with acute myeloid leukemia in November 2021. Bella was a beautiful, smart, loving child that inspired everyone with her bravery, strength, and love of life. Bella had many creative interests and aspired to be a chef. This award honors the light and love Bella brought to our community by helping a senior further their education in the field of culinary arts, food service management, or hospitality management. The recipient should embody the values of integrity and respect and show persistence and grit when met with a challenge. So thank you so much for allowing us to speak tonight.
Thank you so much, Liz. And you know what? Just remind me, like in April, we'll make sure we call out like that big weekend and we promote it at the April board meetings too. Okay, we'll definitely do that. Go ahead, Miriam.
I just wanted to add that I know there's a lot of information and dates that we just set out, but we don't want to be forgotten around here. So we have our Facebook page updated. We have a new Instagram page, which is JCHS Scholarship Fund. Please take a look at it. We're always looking forward to including new members in our meetings. It's a really wonderful group of people. Every single dollar that we raise goes to scholarships. That's it, period. Yep. It's wonderful. So please come to the ringside. It'll be a great night anyway with the Milwaukees.
Yes.
And hopefully, Eileen's pretzel jar will be stuffed with as much cash as she can carry out.
Yes.
But it's really important that we get the community together. This is the one thing where everyone can stand together to send our seniors off with as many scholarships as we can possibly give out.
Yes. And I just want to say before you guys leave, I just want to thank Mary Ellen and Greg and Liz. It's really hard, like the scholarship committee, it goes like under the radar. And Mary Ellen and Liz and Greg, but Greg has been involved, but he's really stepped up in the past like 2 years, becoming the co-president and really working. And Mary Ellen and Liz are new members, and the impact that they have both made on the scholarship committee is far beyond measure. It's invaluable. So just thank you all for everything that you do, and we're gonna pump it out, get everybody to Scholarship Rocks, the shredded event.
Send us an email if you want to join the crew. We'll find you
Yes.
if you comment on anything.
Yes, we're usually on Wednesdays. We used to be on Mondays, but the board meetings kind of put it, so now we're on Wednesdays. We're in the high school in the library. Anyone is welcome. The meetings are usually about 1 hour, so we're real short and sweet, but it's a really great feel-good organization. So thank you all for coming. Thank you. Anybody else want to come up tonight? No? Maybe we could get the teachers at Scholarship Rocks. Yes.
I feel like I should put glasses on or something.
Yeah, no. Go ahead,
I'm still Mary Ellen Meehan for Hawthorne Road in Caldwell. Make it official. I had been trying to come in person to ask this. I just hadn't been able to before tonight. The personnel changes this year on the agenda, that has changed, that there are no names on anything. Is that an OFRA request or whatever it is, or what brought about the change of that?
You really shouldn't have any names in the agenda. It should just be the ID numbers. There really should be no reference to anyone.
Oh, even though it's in the past?
If we're hiring a specific person, their name's on there, but if there's leaves of absence or other things, it's only IDs.
Okay, because in the past it was. And then I had missed the meeting when a bit of the referendum was spoken about for the field house. I know there was one sort of a bid out to, is there any information on the timeline on that, or?
So it's very interesting that we were just talking about it right before we came in here. So we're still working on it.
Okay.
You know, we told the public that if we went for a referendum, it would be no impact to the taxpayers, and that's the commitment that the board is making. So we are just trying to work it out. We have moved forward. The architect is making plans. We are going to spend our next executive session next Monday, really digging into numbers and projects and attaching dollar amounts and really seeing if it's something we can really do. It's something we really want to do, but, you know, in the essence of the financial times, you know, we are not going to put an unwarranted tax burden on the community. So we're trying to make it work. It's something we really believe in and we want to do, but we're still trying to figure it out. So the timeline would still be possibly December, but we might push to next March, actually, March 2025. We still, in that window, we still can have the bond. The last payments are next year, 2025, on the old bond. So we would still have time if we went out in December or March to still go out and do that. So that's where we're going to keep you updated. Just right now, we just really have to dig into it.
Okay, great. That's very exciting. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Mary Ellen. Thank you. Yep. Anybody else? Okay. So next week, the 25th, we're back here at Lincoln School. The Lincoln School kids are going to highlight how awesome they are and all the awesome things going on at Lincoln School. And yeah, and that should do it. Okay, so can I have a motion? It is to enter into executive session at 7:58 p.m.
I'll make a motion.
And can we have a second?
I'll second.
Brian, can you take the roll?
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All against, nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Who abstained?
He's okay, he wants to go in.
Did you abstain?
No, I'm good.
All right, 5-0, motion carried.
Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
You know what?